Good morning, students. I hope you are doing well. So, I welcome you all on another session again. I would like to take a moment to introduce our today's topic, which we are going to understand. So, first is intelligence, where we try to understand what constitutes intelligent behavior. Then we will move on to the theories of intelligence given by different psychologists. So, let us start. So let us try to understand the different definitions of intelligence given by different psychologists. We have four concepts here. So first we have Oxford Dictionary. Oxford Dictionary says the code word pluck, which would help you to remember the definition. It says the ability to learn, the ability to perceive, the ability to understand, and the ability to no. So these are the four concepts which would help you to understand the Oxford Dictionary definition. So the next definition we have from Alfred Binet. Now let me tell you a little about Alfred Binet. He was the first person who started working on intelligence testing. He was deputed by French government in 1905 to try to find and aggregate children with different kind of abilities so that different classrooms could be formed based upon the performance of the children. So what he did was he devised a test which could measure the mental age of the child and the age of the mind. Now his definition you can remember by the code word Burj. So you would have heard the word Burj Khalifa, the tallest tower in Dubai, and Burj basically says Binay's concept of understanding, reasoning, and judging. So this definition says the ability to understand well, to reason well, and judge well. Now we move on to the next definition given by David Wechsler. According to the David Wechsler, the global and aggregate capacity of an individual to think rationally and to make available resources to deal with the challenges of his or her environment. So this is all about Wechsler. Now the next definition and the last definition is given by Gardner and Sternberg. According to him, this definition gives us the understanding that intelligence is not just about the statistical structure, it is also about how a person deals with different kind of situation, adapts himself, modifies himself to different kind of situation. So this is the definition given by Gardner and Sternberg. Now, all those names that you have heard, these are the psychologists who have given their definition of intelligence, and they have also given their concept about how can intelligence be assessed and tested. So students, we have various theories and theoretical approaches to understand the concept of intelligence. So here we have two major approaches. First is the psychometric approach and the other is information processing approach. So we have 5 theories under psychometric and we have 3 theories under the information processing approach. So now let us try to understand the information processing approach first. Now information processing, as the term indicates, basically includes how the information that I am getting from the environment, my mind as a computer gets the information, the stimuli from the environment, it processes the data and that information goes out. So input, processing and output. So like a computer. So that is our mind or memory. Now under this approach we are studying about the processes or the functions of intelligence. That is, what does intelligence do? Does it do problem solving? Does it do decision making? What is the function it tries and adheres to? So under this information processing approach, we have a triarchic theory of intelligence given by Robert Sternberg in 1985. So this theory is very important from the exam point of view and normally is asked for 6 marker and 4 marker. So Robert Sternberg gave this approach. So this is Sternberg approach, and this basically talks about three major components. He says that intelligence can be divided into three parts, three processes. So the first one will call as analytical intelligence. We also call it as componential intelligence. This is required for various school related activities. So children who work for the school, who are starting in the school, they require this kind of intelligence. So children who score good marks, they definitely have a good analytical intelligence. Now again, it has three components or parts. First is the knowledge acquisition component, second is the meta component, and the third is known as the performance component. So for starting you require the first, acquiring knowledge. Second, you hold on, process that, which we call it as the meta component. So meta means higher level of cognitive ability. So using your mind's ability, you process that data, and then of course you write in the exam. That is the performance component. So the second component talks about creativity, also known as creativity intelligence or experiential intelligence. That is basically dealing with your past experiences. When we have any kind of remixes, that is basically we have a ground of creativity and we use that foundation and we add on our own ideas. That is the creative component. Suppose the car breaks down, a person from the past experiences will try and understand what might all have gone wrong. So the third component, according to the Sternberg, is basically contextual intelligence. Now, contextual intelligence, also known as practical intelligence, which is what we call as street smartness. So, children who may not be very good in studies but know how to handle their parents' business, that is known as street smartness. They know how to handle different kind of people. They know how to handle different kind of situation. That is the third component. So this is all about triarchic or Sternberg's theory. So students, another theory which comes under this information processing approach is PASS model. So why we call it as a PASS model? Because in PASS again here we have four components. P stands for planning, A stands for arousal, attention, S stands for simultaneous processing, and again S stands for successive processing. So this model is given by J.P. Das, Jack Naglieri, and Kirby in 1994. So first we start with attention arousal. Suppose you were given an intimation by your teacher for an exam. So it would arouse you to attend to a specific chapters. Arousal forces you to focus your attention on reading, learning, and revising the contents of the chapter. So after the attention phase, processing phase gets activated. Here we have two kinds of processing. First is simultaneous processing and successive processing. So when you learn any kind of multiplication table, a child who can do step by step is known as successive processing, where you need to remember all the information serially. Simultaneous processing will be when I am comparing 6 options and trying to figure out the best suitable answers. So this is best suitable answer. So this is simultaneous processing. After the information is attended to and processed, planning phase is activated. So you plan out how can I prepare, what data do I have, how much time do I have, what help can I get. So if a plan doesn't work, it is modified to suit the requirement of the task or the situation. So this is all about PASS model. The last theory that come under this information processing approach is cognitive assessment system, that is CAS. So it is again given by Das and Negleri. It is also known as a battery of tests. So CS was a test basically developed for the people between the age of 5 to 18 years, and this has both verbal and non-verbal component in trying to identify what kind of problem children are facing in the school and how to remedy it. So, to summarize, today we discussed about major concepts of intelligence, different definitions of intelligence, then we moved on to the different kinds of theories, and we did information processing theories where we had Sternberg triarchic model, and then we moved on to the PASS model, and under that we had CAS system. Thank you.